The world you know is built on a framework of rules, gravity, time, the clear division between life and death. But what if this framework is not as rigid as it seems? What if, just beyond our perception, other realities exist, occasionally bleeding through into our own? For centuries, people have reported encounters with entities that defy classification, beings that are not from our world, but perhaps from another version of it. These are not tales of distant stars, but of doorways hidden in plain sight. Our number 5 takes us to rural West Virginia in November 1966. Two young couples were driving near a former W2 munitions plant when their headlights caught something extraordinary. A 7-foot-tall, winged figure with glowing red eyes stood by the road. They fled in terror, but the creature pursued them, effortlessly keeping pace with their car at speeds over 100 miles per hour. Over the next 13 months, more than 100 citizens of Point Pleasant reported sightings of this entity, dubbed the Mothman. Witnesses described it not as an animal, but as something different. Its movements were unnatural, its presence accompanied by a sense of dread and strange electrical disturbances. The sightings culminated with the tragic collapse of the Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967. Was the Mothman a harbinger from another dimension, a silent observer of a tragedy it could not prevent? Its sudden appearance and equally sudden disappearance leave a chilling void in the official record. Number 4 on our list concerns an incident that is less a single event and more a persistent, unsettling phenomenon: the shadow people. Across cultures and continents, individuals report waking in the night to find dark humanoid silhouettes standing in their rooms. These figures are often seen wearing hats or cloaks, but they lack any discernible features. They are pure, three-dimensional voids. Unlike ghosts, they don't seem to be echoes of the past. Instead, they appear solid, aware, and deeply intrusive. Researchers have tried to explain them as sleep paralysis hallucinations, but many witnesses were fully awake, their encounters leaving behind a palpable sense of violation. Quantum physics suggests the existence of parallel dimensions, just a vibration away from our own. Are these shadow figures inhabitants of such a realm, momentarily visible as our two worlds intersect in the quiet darkness of night? Coming in at number 3 is the strange case of the Green Children of Woolpit. In the 12th century, in a small English village, 2 children were discovered emerging from one of the wolf pits used to trap wolves. They were a boy and a girl, and their skin was tinged a distinct shade of green. They spoke an unknown language and wore clothes made of an unfamiliar fabric. The boy soon fell ill and passed away, but the girl survived. She eventually learned English, and over time, her green skin faded to a normal tone. When asked where she came from, she described a subterranean land called St. Martin's Land, where the sun never fully rose and everything was cast in a perpetual twilight. She and her brother had been herding their father's flock when they heard a loud sound and followed a river of light emerging into our world. Was St. Martin's Land a lost underground civilization, or another dimension accidentally accessed through a temporary portal? Number 2 is a modern mystery from a place you'd least expect: a hospital room. An increasing number of patients who have undergone near-death experiences, or NDEs, report encountering more than just deceased relatives or religious figures. They describe meeting beings of pure light, entities of immense wisdom and compassion that exist outside the bounds of human form. These beings often communicate telepathically, sharing profound knowledge about the structure of the universe and the nature of consciousness. They are described not as angels or gods, but as guides or even cosmic librarians, existing in a timeless, spaceless reality. Skeptics attribute these visions to a lack of oxygen in the brain, but the consistency of the reports across different cultures and belief systems is staggering. Could these encounters be a glimpse into a higher dimension, a fundamental layer of reality that we can only access when the veil between life and death grows thin. Our number one encounter involves a man whose entire life became entangled with another reality. In 1954, a man arrived at Haneda Airport in Tokyo with a European passport. It was perfectly legitimate, except for one detail: the country of issue was Tord. When officials questioned him, the man became agitated. He insisted Tord was a real country, located between France and Spain, and that it had existed for over 1,000 years. He even had currency from Taured and stamps in his passport from his previous travels, all of which appeared authentic. The company he claimed to work for did not exist, though he had extensive documentation for it. The hotel he had a reservation with had no record of him. Baffled, officials placed him in a guarded hotel room overnight to sort things out. By morning, he was gone. The locked room was empty. All of his documents, which had been secured in the airport's security office, had also vanished. It was as if the man from Taured and his entire country had simply slipped back through the crack in reality from which he came. From winged messengers and shadow figures to visitors from non-existent countries, these stories challenge the very foundation of our perceived reality. They suggest that the universe is not a single, linear narrative, but a library of infinite stories stacked side by side. We may believe we are reading the only book, unaware of the rustling pages just beyond our own. The truth, perhaps, doesn't need to be found. It simply waits to be noticed, hiding in the glitches, the shadows, and the quiet moments when the walls between worlds grow thin.